Welcome everyone to the July 8th, 2019 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Would you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm Barb Lewis, President. To my left is our Vice President, Jeff Benton. To my right, fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill, and our Deputy Administrator, Don Houston, and our Clerk, Jennifer Walraven. We can begin.
Resolution number 19-637, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held July 1st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-637. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today. Resolution number 19-638, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM-APR 0705.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-638. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-639, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-639. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-640, in the matter of setting date and time for reviewing and public hearing for consideration of the Dustin Road Drainage Improvement Petition filed by Kurt D. Vogel and others.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-640. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-641, in the matter of changing the location and time of the Commissioners' session for Monday, September 16th, 2019 to 10 a.m. at the Delaware County Fairgrounds staged by the Coliseum.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion,
I'd
vote.
just like to comment that this is something we do every year, and it's always enjoy going out to the fair and having at least one meeting a year out there. So.
Right, and it's close to the Buckeye Valley Food Court, so we get good breakfasts that way.
That's right. Yeah. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-641. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-642, in the matter of canceling the Commissioners' session for Thursday, September 19th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-642. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-643, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-643. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-644, in the matter of approving a transfer of funds and supplemental appropriations for the Clerk of Courts.
Aye. So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Good.
Well, I believe
We
we
do
we have several people here to
Oh, all right,
for this
okay.
discussion.
Sure.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Natalie Fravel, Delaware County Clerk of Courts. I'm here along with Judge Hemanowski, Juvenile Probate Court, and on behalf also of Melissa Jordan, Delaware County Recorder. We spoke to you last September at the fair. It was the meeting at the fair in the pavilion by the Coliseum about this project the first time.
Now, went and ate at the Buckeye Valley Food.
That's right.
Yes,
You have to.
yes.
It's the best.
We are here today to request a supplemental appropriation from the Title Administration Fund to help fund our Good Deeds project. We spoke with you, like I said back then, along with the help of Jane Hawes. She has developed some artwork for us, and now we are ready to send out our mail piece to the residents of Delaware County. Our first event is scheduled for August 6th. We're doing a test as a county brown bag lunch, and then our first public event is going to be August 12th at the Willis Building. We are seeking a transfer of $15,000 to cover the cost of printing and mailing for our first 3 rounds of material to the residents of Delaware County. So we thank you for your time and your consideration.
For the benefit, would you just kind of give a 25-word summary, or maybe 50
Or
words?
you can make it longer than that.
This project is really with it touches all of our offices. Judge Hemanowski, as you know, is the probate judge, and it is our intent to reach our residents so that our residents are better prepared in protecting their assets, keeping everything out of probate court. In my jurisdiction, it would be your cars, your recreational vehicles, your watercraft, anything like that, you can put into survivorship so that it passes to the beneficiaries or the heirs of an estate outside of probate. Recorder Jordan is interested also in informing the residents on how you can keep your property, your real estate, from passing through probate as well. So we all have a shared interest in this to inform the residents of how to make things easier at at a difficult time in our lives.
Is it fairly uncommon to not have it in survivorship mode for these titles?
Very common. Just because people have a vehicle or a watercraft in two names, in the state of Ohio, survivorship is not implied. It's required to have survivorship notated on a certificate of title, so.
It's a simple process, you don't need an
Very
attorney,
simple.
you don't need to...
It's a 5-minute cheap process to do, and that's what we want to make people aware of that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Judge
good.
Kaminowski?
I'm just here to look pretty. And, no, Clerk Brable has said just about everything. Just to give you an example, my wife and I bought Dave Hemanowski, probate juvenile court judge. My wife and I bought our first home less than 20 years ago, despite the fact that I, as a lawyer in that process, specifically asked for a joint survivorship deed. The deed came in the mail after the closing, and it was a general warranty deed, which would not have passed automatically if and when something happened to one of us. And I had to go back and request that the deed be refiled and re-prepared as a joint survivorship deed. This is going to be a joint project as well with the Delaware County Bar Association. I do want to give them credit. We're going to have some volunteers from the bar out to assist folks as well. Someone asked about the process. I think Commissioner Merrill, you did, whether it could be done without an attorney. Portions of it can. Other portions of it would be more difficult without the assistance of an attorney, and so we're going to have some volunteers available to help.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
I hardly recognize you,
nice.
you look different than you did on July 4th.
Not the Star Spangled Coat, yeah.
But your whole attire.
That's an outfit reserved for the 4th of July parade,
That was great.
and the occasional election meeting. And when I loaned the coat to Commissioner Benton.
Right, that's been a few years.
emceeing the
That's such a-
July concert for the Central Ohio City.
But not enough people got to see your socks. Your socks
Oh, yeah,
were,
they're just,
they're plain.
White Sox today.
Yeah, but the socks on the 4th were extra
Red, white, and blue as
special.
well.
They were very, very good.
If you're gonna be in a parade, you gotta do it right. I seem to recall Commissioner Merrill had quite a hat on
Yes.
for the parade as well, and it's nice to see you all out there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
And we invite all of you to come to our brown bag lunch on the 6th of August. It will be right here, I believe. Jane, right here in the room across the hall? Okay, and you can hear our pitch
Okay.
for the very first time.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Okay. Let's vote.
Vote on motion 19-644. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-645, in the matter of approving an amendment to the development and incentive agreement with the City of Powell and the Ohio State University.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Bob Lamb, Economic Development Director. Before you is a request to make an amendment to an existing agreement that we have with the City of Powell and Ohio State University. The change to the agreement is an extension of the time frame for the sewer service work that was proposed along Sawmill and Home to accommodate the Ohio State New Medical Facility at that location. We had originally looked at a termination date of the agreement in June. However, Ohio State has asked for an extension to the end of the year. City of Powell has granted that extension. The extension has been asked for just because Ohio State is still in their due diligence process concerning acquisition of the site. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 19-645. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bob.
Bob.
Resolution number 19-646, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer improvement plans for Grace's Place.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. This is a 14-unit condo development that's located on South Old 3C Highway near State Route 3, and we request your approval of these plans.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-646. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-647, in the matter of approving amendment number 1 to the sanitary sewer improvement plan approval and subdividers agreement for Shelley's Retreat at Carpenter's Mill Pump Station improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this is a project being performed by Pulte Homes, and they've reached substantial completion on the pump station portion of the project, and they're requesting us to allow them to tie in 8 homes plus their model home, which is just upstream of the pump station. We feel that they're at a point that they can go ahead and do that. It'll be done at their own risk until they complete the rest of the improvements and have the final approval of the pump station. So we request your approval of this amendment.
We've done this on very rare occasions in the past.
Yeah, specifically when they are building a pump station and it's a more regional type improvement, we feel that once they have it up and running and it's met all of our requirements to remain operational and all of the controls are set up and the SCADA and the alarms, we're okay with allowing them to operate it at their own risk for a small portion of the subdivision.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-647. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-648, in the matter of approving amendment number 2 to the sanitary subdividers improvement plan and approval subdividers agreement for a Shelley's Retreat at Carpenter's Mill, Section 1, Phase A.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this is the same subdivision. It's just the gravity piece. It was under a separate agreement. So we're allowing them to connect in those 8 lots plus the model home with this amendment.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-648. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-649, in the matter of approving sanitary sewer easement agreement and accepting a permanent sanitary easement and temporary construction easement from Home Highland LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this is the easement that would go from US 23 along Home Road all the way to Gooding Boulevard. It's the kind of that last piece that we needed an easement for to connect our project over to EPCON's project with the trunk sewer. We're going to be running the 18-inch sewer as part of the county's project through this property. It's the Brad Block property, and we received this easement as part of the negotiation of the TIF agreement.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-649. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye. Thank you, Tiffany.
Resolution number 19-650, in the matter of reappointing members to the North Star New Community Authority Board of Trustees.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Director of Communications. We have before you the resolution to reappoint Tiffany Meg and Richard Thayer as members of the North Star New Community Authority, and we recommend your approval.
Okay. Thank them for their
Yes.
service
Thank you,
in the
Tiffany.
past and willing to serve in the future. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-650. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 19-651, in the matter of approving a service agreement with OpenGov Incorporated for software services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Brad Lutz, Director of Business Operations and Financial Management. You may remember OpenGov was the company that was here, probably a couple months ago now. It's amazing how time flies. Did a presentation to discuss what they could do in regards to helping us with our financial reporting and also our budgeting. In that time, I've been working with OpenGov closely to come up with a strategy, and then in the last, say, month, Commissioner Benton has been very gracious to help me work through this process and defining a timeline that helps define where we would like to see the financial reporting for the county go, and getting that set in a official timeline. Some of the things I'd like to hit on today and what we'd like to see. So one of the things that was discussed heavily during that presentation was how this would help with budgeting, creating a budgeting book, and so forth. And we are fully engaged with OpenGov in a manner that would be consistent with getting that project up and running for, at minimum, the commissioner's offices, departments, and possibly a few other elected officials like the auditor and so forth to help us with that process. So we should definitely see some advantage going into the 2020 budget utilizing that system. But what we focused on the last couple of weeks primarily is the financial reporting. So these would be things like the operating results, forecast, budget, cash flow, debt, debt service. That would also be looking into the future, also debt service that exists today, investment earnings, capital spending, reports that would go out in front of the public, and ultimately performance reports. This requires a culmination of data from multiple places. The primary data point would be data points that would come from the finance system. There would also be some data that I assume is manually input, maybe some data that's collected by other departments. And then finally, there's a couple outliers that other departments are running that may be able to be integrated into the system, like I'm not exactly aware of how the treasurer, for example, maintains the investment portfolio, but I assume it's in a program that could be uploaded into this. So Commissioner Benton tasked me with developing a very specific timeline and when we would see some of these reports come through. So what we hope to see, and this would also be broken down based on general fund, other funds, and then all funds total, is we would see operating results no later than mid-August. And that's because, once again, most of these data points are coming from the finance system. We fully expect to have the finance system uploaded into the system by the beginning of August. And the reason for that is, once again, OpenGov is the facilitator of the Ohio checkbook. So we're already uploading data to that. That's utilized by the state treasurer's office for that program. So obviously this should not be a project that would take too much time. By the end of August, we should have budget reports because we fully expect the budget system to be ready by then and start training, once again, in particular, commissioner's office departments in the use of that system. And then moving into September, and then by October 1st, we would have cash flow and hopefully some reports ready for the public, things that can be put on our social media pages and or website that would be uploaded on a regular basis. Reports that would require some manual input, once again, would take a little bit longer, but forecasting, I've already started some of those reports in the general fund, so I have a basic idea of what I'd like those reports to look like. But utilizing other funds is where I've struggled with the use of our finance system, so obviously I would fully expect to have forecasts done no later than by the end of September, October 1st. Debt in the same time frame. Once again, I could input debt manually into the system and probably generate a report. What I'm hoping for is there's something that we can get from our bonding company or some other automated data that could be uploaded directly into that. Investments and capital spending would be rounding out September into mid-October. So we would have those reports ready to be provided to you on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis, depending on how you would like to see those reports. And then finally, performance-based reports. I have quite a list here. I won't read them all, but reports ranging from completion by September 15th all the way into February of next year. Some of these are, once again, commissioners' offices, so I expect they'll be a little bit easier, and I also, to get the data, plus I know that data is automated. Things like 911 calls, EMS calls, code compliance inspections, things of this nature. But then later in the year and going into early 2020, I'm hoping to finalize some data from offices such as the Board of Elections, county courts, sheriff's office, and even prosecutor's office to see, calls responded to by the sheriff's office, number of cases, handled by the prosecutor's office, types of cases. Obviously, we wouldn't put personal data on here, but I certainly think knowing the types of cases being tried might be useful data. Same with the court system. Once again, Board of Elections, we could utilize the GIS data, put polling locations on a map that's available on our website, but also put things like statistics of numbers of voters that voted at those locations and so on and so forth. So we have a very comprehensive, I believe, timeline set forth to manage this program implementation and rollout. I obviously believe that this is at least until the budget itself hits, the number one priority for myself. So I will be working on that. I do take consideration for the budget process in this timeline. I believe, obviously, October and November will be very heavily involved in that. So there may be some of this that gets put off to the side as we complete the budget. But I certainly don't see any reason that by March 1st, outside of a few outliers of data, that we have a fully functioning financial and performance-based reporting system for, once again, whether it be online, for your records, for employees, you name it.
Boy,
Yeah.
comprehensive and extensive. I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. Commissioner Benton, did you want to comment?
Yeah, I've been working on this a little bit.
Yeah.
And a few comments, I guess. First of all, thanks to Brad for leading this charge. OpenGov is a proven system. We're using it as a county, which is the first in Ohio, as I understand.
Yes.
But proven system, and they've done in other counties, just not in Ohio. So I don't think the system implementation is going to be a challenge. But I also want to thank George Keitza, our auditor, and Cy Keeley, his assistant, for their work and engagement in this, because we can't do it on our own. And they're going to provide very important resources as well. So again, that's something I've been after for years, to get a comprehensive financial planning and reporting system in place. And it looks like it's finally going to happen, which is great. You know, the county has grown into a significant size business. You know, I think if you add up all the funds, we're in the range of $200 million a year now. And we don't have a regular reporting system to monitor and plan and manage the $200 million that the taxpayers entrust us with to report on and manage effectively. So this is a huge step forward. The reason I was so focused on getting a usage plan is, again, I think I have high confidence that the implementation of this system will go very well. It's not a new system. But, you know, if we don't know how to use it and don't have a plan on how to use it, it could, you know, we could have a significant investment that really isn't used and therefore not effective. So that's why I've been so interested in a usage plan, and that's what this document lays out that Brad put together, and I'm sure we'll share with everyone. So we can see how the reporting will play out. So again, I want to thank everyone for their involvement in it. This is great. It'll be basically pretty automatic. You know, the monthly reporting, monthly operating results, cash flow reporting will be pretty automatic and generated, and then the quarterly and annual reports will be done with a little bit of work, but not nearly as much as is done today.
No.
So it'll be better, it'll be more timely, it'll be more useful. So I really think this is a huge step forward. You know, as I was thinking about this, the one piece on this reporting schedule we don't have is a long-term plan. You know, one thing we really need is a 5, maybe longer term plan, but as I understand it, the system can do that. It's just a matter of plugging in the variables and
Yes.
printing out the reports. Because, you know, we have great long-term plans in place in sewer, roads, economic development, and so on, but we don't have a plan that pulls it all together from a financial standpoint. So that's a huge, important step as well. So again, thanks to Brad and everybody. Karen, I know, has been involved and will be involved in it going forward. So it's one of those things I think we'll really start to appreciate it once we get it.
Okay.
And that'll be very soon. So again, very excited.
The only thing I'd add is communication is important. We've had issues about communication from time to time, and this really is a communication tool as far as helping us understand where we are at any given time. And we have information coming from a number of different sources and different places, and so I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brad.
Oh, you're welcome.
For your
I'm excited.
leadership.
Yeah.
Commissioner Benton, especially too, and all your work. Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 19-651. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
That brings us to administrator reports.
And I have nothing to report today.
Well, let's see. Having forgotten who went, oh, I bet it was up.
Yeah, that's right, Commissioner Merrill.
Yeah, it's your turn,
Well, I
Commissioner
have just a
Merrill.
couple things. We had a lot of really fantastic parades on July 4th, and it's impossible as elected officials to participate in all of them. And the one I happened to one, and it went really well. A lot of kids, and it really, I don't want to start naming this one or that one, but it was a great parade, and but there was great parades throughout this county. And I understand that Ostrander had a really nice one. I think it was their second or third one. It's fairly new
Yeah.
for Ostrander.
Oh, they've had theirs for years.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, years and years and years.
And
It's a source of real pride in Ostrander, their 4th of July.
And I would like to, our president got a lot of criticism, but I thoroughly enjoyed his speech on July 4th. I thought it was well done. I thought it was very patriotic. And I wish this country could kind of come together instead of nitpicking on every little issue. And, but well done by our president. And the only other thing is our clock needs to be fixed. If you take care of that.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Commissioner
Yeah,
Merrill?
just to expand a little bit on that, the parade that Commissioner Merrill was mentioning was the Sunbury Parade. There were thousands of people at the
Yes.
Sunbury Parade. It's
lot of kids.
amazing, a lot of kids, and the square was just packed. Yeah, and Judge Hemanowski was there in his blue sport coat with the stars, and he had a patriotic tie and pants, and there were just all sorts of kids who were all dressed up. It was just a really neat event. And again, just amazing, the turnout. We've got our TID meeting Wednesday, correct, Sarah? Okay, I got it right this time. Okay, at 9:30. We'll be interested in seeing how that's going along, because they just recently approved the the home road extension on the other side of 23. The All-Star Game is tomorrow night in Cleveland. So it is the Indians. They've had 4 All-Stars in the game tomorrow night. So I'm sure all of you will be especially interested in watching it, since the Cleveland Indians have 4 All-Stars. And I guess that's it. What better thing than All-Star Game?
I do have one other thing. We talked about sports a lot. We talked about golf, and I was talking to Commissioner Benton this morning. You know, it is always, family is important, and to watch this 15-year-old girl in the Wimbledon tournament, I'm amazed at the maturity that she showed. I'm amazed at how well she played, and she's playing this morning, so I don't know if she's winning or losing, but she's in the 4th round, and forget the tennis. It's just, what a great family. The mother and father were, I was excited just to watch the mother and father and how they reacted to the event. I don't think we think about how much and how important family is, but I have my gut feeling is this 15-year-old girl, and Gaff, however she pronounced her last name, but Coco is her first name. I got a feeling she's going to do really well, but more than that, I think she's going to be a great ambassador for the United States. And even the Brits were rooting for her.
Yeah,
It's hard to root against a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
So I think that's important to mention. And family, we sometimes forget that. So that's all I have.
Great.
Okay. And thanks to everyone who participated in the 4th of July parades all over. Fortunately, it was a really nice day, even cloudy at first, which is great because it can be awfully hot at those parades. So thanks to everyone who celebrated our nation's freedom. And we have no need for executive session, but we do have a ditch petition viewing at 1:30 today on Lanata Lane in Genoa Township. So we will be recessed until 1:30.